or welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are continuing the apartment makeover series. If you guys haven't seen the other videos, I'll be sure to link some down below. For today in particular, we're going to be tackling the entryway. I needed something with a little bit more storage, so I'm making a little minor change to my entryway, as well as this back wall definitely needs something on it. It's super plain at the moment. If you guys haven't already subscribed to this channel, make sure to do so with post notifications turned on. Also, I will try and link as much of the stuff that I show in this video, if it is still available, in the description box down below. So let's just jump right into it. Starting off, this is the newest addition to my entryway. As I mentioned earlier, I did need to go ahead and switch it out for something with a little bit more storage, just because what I had before was very minimal and it was great. It just wasn't practical for what I do for work. As much as I would love to have just like a very clean, minimal, like streamlined entryway table like the one I had, I needed the extra storage, especially to accommodate with the upcoming room makeovers and things that I have that I'm doing for you guys. So that being said, I got this piece from IKEA. It is from the Besta collection. I did end up going ahead and getting the one that is glossy white. Unfortunately, they do make a glass countertop for this piece here. However, it was sold out. Definitely would recommend picking it up if you get this piece. It will definitely save this part of it, especially because this is more of a matte and this part is what's actually glossy. So I did get it with the storage and I just put a few things in there. Again, see, I needed something for like, even something as simple as this to store it. This is for a giveaway prize and it just didn't have a place to go. And in here, it can go away and not look cluttered. This is like a super cool vintage 7-Up container, and this belonged to my dad. So I'm definitely trying to incorporate as much of his decor in this apartment. I don't want to donate it. I would rather go ahead and donate my personal belongings and keep stuff from my dad, especially because my dad had like the coolest things and this is one of them. You guys will see it more in the rest of this video, but this is just what the storage looks like. And I did go ahead and get all 9 of the little shelving units. Not sure I'll keep them like this. I might remove one just to accommodate for more storage or something a little bit larger. So that is the new piece here, and what I will say is it definitely mimics the whole minimal vibe without people knowing that you actually have a ton of stuff in this storage piece. So if you're like me and you really want that minimal look but you have things that you need to store, highly would recommend picking up this piece, as well as you can also switch out the legs, which I'm thinking about doing later, but I kind of like how they look now. All right, now the first thing I wanted to start off by doing was styling the countertop of this piece. So the first thing that I'm going to add is actually a vintage piece of art. Again, this belonged to my dad. It's really old, so it does have a little bit of the watermarking here. However, you can't really tell, and I didn't want to ruin the entire print by reframing it, because there is a possibility that because there's water, it's like stuck on the inside. But this is just a really cool piece, and it's from San Diego, and it's actually the Museum of Man in Balboa Park. So I just love this, and again, I kind of like just like the whole vintage vibe and framing. So that's the first thing that I decided to add. Next thing I thought I would add in is just a vase that I got on sale in the clearance department at Target. And I'm also going to add some of the pampas grass that I got locally into the top here, just to have something in it. I think it will add a little bit of height on this end, so that's just what I'm gonna do now. Uh-oh, this is kind of getting everywhere, but don't worry, we'll clean up that little bit of the mess. But I think, again, it just adds a little bit of height to the end of it there. And I'm gonna add in these bookends, and again, these belonged to my dad, and I wish I really knew where they're from because they're super like heavy, sturdy, good quality marble. So they're definitely gonna hold some larger, heavier books that I recently picked up from HomeGoods. How I'm going to stagger this is I'm gonna kind of put the bookend in front of the picture. That way the books can create a little bit of depth going towards the back here. And I have my little Remodelista book, my architecture book that I'm super excited to start reading actually, and then a little styled book right there on the end. And again, these bookends are so sturdy that they can actually hold like really big books like this. So this is the completed left-hand side of the little entryway table. Again, I think it looks really nice. It's functional. It's a place for me to store my books. A lot of you guys were asking for a book collection. That's pretty much all the books that I have, minus maybe a few more. I don't like to hold on to books after I read them. I try and find someone else who wants to read them. And then for this side, I actually thought it would be a good location to put my Marshall speaker. That way it's not like super close to the TV, which is kind of unnecessary. So I put that on that side. As well as I definitely wanted some sort of catch-all dish for my keys. This one is from Urban Outfitters. I've had it for like such a long time now. I want to say I've had this for like 4 years. But it's such a good quality piece. It's held up really well. On this side, I thought would be a really great place actually to put my oil diffuser, because this is a really great like location to have it. That way it flows into the entire apartment. Again, this is my Vitruvi oil diffuser. I do have a coupon code if you guys are ever interested. It's 20% off. I'll put it down below. Highly would recommend. This is like my favorite oil diffuser. That's it as far as styling goes for this entryway table. I love it. It houses my books and my oil diffuser, which are great, as well as there's like a little space over here to put my keys, and it looks really cute. So I like the way that this turned out. I also like the fact that I was able to incorporate some of my dad's stuff just as a little reminder of him in my apartment. To work on this wall here, and I went back and forth on what I wanted to do with the wall, but what I thought would be the most affordable and a great option, just in case I changed my mind or I wanted to switch it up, I'm going to do one of those like DIY Tumblr wallpaper walls, and it's super affordable. I'm just using magazines, and those only cost you like a few dollars, as opposed to getting a wallpaper piece for this, which I just thought would be also very wasteful, because wallpaper doesn't usually come in this small of a section, so I would have to buy a lot of it, and it's also super expensive. The one I wanted was like $150, and I was like, probably not worth it. And then it would also might be cool to like layer an artwork piece over the Tumblr wall. I don't know, we'll see how I like it once I start putting it up. Then for this DIY, literally all you need is tape, a pair of scissors, and then magazine cutouts. I kind of already went through and saw like what I wanted to use for this, but I have the scissors just in case I want to make the particular picture smaller. I don't want everything to be the same size, and then this in particular, I might not want like the graphics on it or whatever it says, so I'll just go ahead and snip that off. Like for example, on this one, I would definitely probably cut it right here if I were gonna use it. And then as well as cut the side off a little bit so it's more of just like a smaller picture. But again, this is gonna add a good pop of color to my apartment without having to buy like colorful decor. So I'm also excited about that. So I'm just gonna go through a little bit more and see exactly like which photos I wanna use for this. I know like certain ones are really pretty and I like them, but I don't know if in particular, like I think that these go together quite well. I kind of want to create my own little theme, I guess you would say. So as you guys can see, I already started filling up my little Tumblr wall, but I just wanted to share with you guys, you can totally start off on the top layer by having everything straight. And then I just went in and put other pieces over it. So for example, of course there's tape already on the back of this. And then just add in that picture right there. And that in particular just creates a layer over the ones that you already put in evenly, if that makes sense. But then down here, I kind of allowed myself to go in just all random areas. So I'm gonna continue filling this space up. So here is the finished product of the wall. As you can see, I got a lot of layers in there. It did take me about an hour to complete. So So I think the wall turned out really great, but as I mentioned before, I definitely want to layer something in front of it, either some furniture or pictures or a plant. So that is what I'm gonna do right now. So as you guys saw, I just added in this table, and it is the Safavieh Talon concrete table. They were kind enough to send this over. I'm absolutely in love with it. Again, I mentioned in my video before, it does sell out quickly, so if you guys are interested, I would highly recommend picking it up. It's an indoor-outdoor table, so you can use it inside or outside, which is great because if I ever move, I can use it as like an outdoor patio table if I can't find a place to fit it in my current space. So I like the way that that looks in front right there, but I did want to kind of like add like a plant or something on top of it. So I did find this on my last IKEA trip, and this is a basket, and immediately when I saw it, I was like, this basket would be great if you put like a pot in it and then an actual plant. So I'm gonna use this on top. I love like how like kind of like floppy and like not perfect it is. I think it just adds so much character to the piece, and this was really affordable at IKEA as well. Okay, and then the actual pot I'm adding is just this white pot. Anytime I show it in a video, you guys ask me so many questions about it. This is from a local place called Venice Plants. So if you guys live in the area or close by, I would highly recommend going there. I've seen these like just basic white planters for anywhere up to like $100. This was like $20 there, which I think is a good deal. It's super great quality, and it actually fits perfectly inside of this basket. Like I couldn't have planned this any better. So it does need a little bit of maneuvering, as I said, because the basket itself is a little floppy, but as far as fitting, it fits perfectly, and I like how you can kind of see the white through it. And now we need to head on over to Home Depot to pick up some sort of plant to go in this little pot. Saw in the last clip, this is the plant I ended up going with. It had like really good reviews online as far as it purifying the air in your apartment, but keep in mind it is poisonous to cats and dogs. So if you have a cat or a dog, if they eat this, it can poison them. So that's something I mentioned in all my videos. I did mention to you guys I want to get a dog soon, but that's kind of on hold right now. So I thought I would add some real plants here and there, and then if I did get a dog, I could find these plants another home. But for now, this will be great, especially to purify the air in here because I do have asthma and allergies, and I just love the way that it looks in front of here. And then the more I looked at the entryway table, I thought it was missing a little something. So I got super, super lucky at Ross. And I actually ended up finding this little guy, and it's like beautiful. It just looks like a little, kind of like a tree stump, I guess you could say. And it was $39.99, which I think is a good price. It's really heavy and sturdy. And I thought that this actually fits perfectly next to the little entryway table. So I put it right here because I thought it looked really good, as well as when I come in, I can set my bag here. It's just a really functional piece. I thought this area was looking a little too white, so I wanted to add another little pop of wood in there as well. I'm definitely loving the way that this looks now. It's definitely more functional and practical for what I need in my apartment. Also, something that I did mention in my last apartment makeover, but I wanted to mention again, this piece won't actually be so close to this little area. I just need to move it back to where it goes, but where the lighting hits in my apartment, in order for me to film, I just needed to show you guys in good lighting right here, but it will definitely be moved up further, but that's where the shadow hits in my apartment. It's kind of weird with messing with the lighting in here. So yeah, that was everything that I wanted to share with you guys for today's apartment makeover video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. As I mentioned, all the links to everything that I showed in the video will be in the description box down below. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!